All right, next case is DOH 20-00004, 754 Merrick Lane in Port Charlotte. Ms. Mello? Good morning, Ms. Mello. It's another one of yours, Officer Horse. Okay.
Gary Road Horse, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. There was a finding on October 7th, 2020, finding that the property was in violation of the pump out and inspection ordinance. I conducted an inspection on March 22nd, 2021, finding that the property is still not in compliance. This is a 90-day fine in the amount of $4,520.
Okay, this property is not eligible for utilities, correct?
At this juncture, no.
Ms. Mello, I briefly remember this case. I think, if I recall, you just were in a position you could not afford to replace the septic tank?
Evidently, I did not understand previously when I paid the $70 and was told I needed to get it pumped out, which I did, and I don't think they have a record of that, although I have given them a copy. I have diligently looked for help to get my septic system replaced. It's old and it's broken, but I am low income. If I can't afford to get the septic system done, how on earth could I pay a $5,000 fine? And I look for help. There's no money, well, at least during this pandemic, with situations like this that I have found. That I would gladly accept.
Is there any way with additional time that you could raise the money to repair the septic tank?
Oh, that's what I've been looking for, is to to get some kind of help, because I cannot afford to do it on my own. And there is, I don't know who looked at the system, but there has not been a drop of water out of that septic system. That's since I had it pumped out, it's been fine. I wish somebody would come and look again.
Well, so you had it inspected and you had it pumped out, and they
yes,
it was broken, or they told you it was.
When I was here in October and I was told to do that, I had that done right away, and I have the receipt that I.
Can I see the receipt?
You want me?
Sure.
Please give that to me. Thank you.
Do you mind if we get make a copy of this real quick?
Not at all.
I'm going to enter that in to evidence as Respondents Exhibit 1. See, the pump out, the county's pump out rules are, well, the county is really enforcing the Department of Health's rules. And in that situation, it is a 5-year pump out and an inspection. So there's two parts to the permit. It's to say, we've cleaned it out so that it can continue to operate properly, and the system itself is still working properly. That way, if it's still working properly and you get a bill of clean health, then there's no continuing violation. You can keep the old septic system. if it is not in working order, then it's polluting the surrounding water supply. So that's the issue, and so then it has to come out. Now, when we get this back, I'm going to look through this and see if they just did an inspection, if they indicate it's in good shape. Even if they indicate it's not in good shape, if you're telling me that it seems to be working fine, it may be in your best interest to have them come back out and re-inspect the system now that it's been
I
cleaned
guess
out.
I wish somebody would come back out and look at it, because it,
But the responsibility is on you as the homeowner who owns a home with a septic system. If this was, if you were connected to the county's utility system, well, then it'd be their responsibility to check it out. But this system is yours.
yeah, I realize that this is my responsibility, but the problem is financial. And if somebody could tell me of a federal program or a county program that I haven't been able to locate, I surely would appreciate that.
Officer Roadhorse, do you have any further testimony?
Yeah, one of the difficulties with this particular property is this is with the State Department of Health legal system. Because of the failure of the tank, there was visible sewage on the ground.
Okay.
In an early report, so this is going to require a full system replacement.
Do you have anything from the Department of Health or DEP that says that?
I have an email from, if I remember correctly, I believe I addressed this at the last hearing. I have an email dated November 20th of 2020 indicating that the system is not in compliance. It is with our legal department as system is in failure with sewage on the ground.
Just looking at the files.
And that was the verification that it was not in compliance prior to the last ANC.
I do not have that email. Oh, wait, hold on, maybe I do.
Neither do I.
No, I do not have that email in evidence. Could you make a copy? I'll also show it to Ms. Mello.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I have a certification here from A1 Septic they filed with the Department of Health indicating that they signed off that the system is free of defects. There is a notation about a sewer gas hole through the back wall of the tank, but I don't know what that means. I don't know. That seems to contradict the free of defects. Have you seen this at all?
I do believe she sent that to me.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to accept your email from the Department of Health. It's County's Composite Exhibit Number 2.
Okay, thank you.
So unfortunately, I don't, a statement from Ms. Beaucamp is that the system is non-compliance, for what I'm not sure. legal department is looking at it, and there's sewage on the ground. Okay, so there is a requirement that when there's open sewage, there's a 24-hour reporting requirement, but I'm not sure that that timing of that matches up wholly with this. So she had her system pumped in October of 20. This email from Department of Health is from November of 20, but it does not indicate when this sewage was on the ground, either before or afterwards. Ms. Mello, I'm going to continue this fine for 90 days, because I want to get this cleared up. You are either in compliance or not, and I am inclined at this point to find that you are in compliance based on the evidence you presented. However, there are some unusual notations on A1 Septic's invoice that either contradict or are meaningless to me, and I need to figure out what that is. So, what I would recommend you do before those 90 days are up and we're back here again is to contact A1 Septic, who you had come out,
Yes.
and ask them to come out and just do an inspection of the system that they cleaned out, because they certified that it was free of defects. If they provide something else in writing to me that it's still free of defects, unless the Department of Health comes up with something more than an email saying it's non-compliance, I'm going to find you're in compliance. Do you understand?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Now, would that include the state DOH permit as well to be in compliance?
Well, the DOH permit is for it to be pumped out and inspected. The only evidence I have is from Ms. Mello's contractor that it was in fact pumped out and inspected. I don't have anything from DOH saying it's not.
And I never received anything else until just recently. I don't know if
Your Honor, part of that inspection would be the part where they said it's not serviceable as is. They didn't.
There's none of that in the record, though. I have none of that in the record.
We have it in the email from Ms. Beauchamp that says
without any context. So I don't know if she's looking at their system saying that I don't know if she received this or if it was in their system by the date that they submitted. So they submitted a permit to do the inspection on September 30th. The next month, they went out and did the pump out and certified that it had been done and that it was free of defects. I don't know that that was submitted to her by the time she responded to the email in November indicating it was still non-compliance.
Well, that email was to clarify what the documentation or what the information was previously. The most recent email that I received, which was on March 22nd, is that this property is not in compliance with the pump out inspection and permitting requirements. That's why we're here today.
I don't have an email from March 22nd. I have an email for November. So I see that this went to hearing on the 7th. The very next day, Ms. Mello had A1 Septic go out and do a pump out.
Yes, I do.
So, in my mind, she's trying to come into compliance. The open question is whether she actually is in compliance. And the only I have documentation that's been certified that she is in compliance. But all I have is an email indicating it's gone to legal and that there's sewage on the ground. Okay, but I don't know if that sewage is from prior to October 8th or after October 8th. It's completely out of context. So absent an affidavit or something more from Ms. Beauchamp, in 90 days, and I'm assuming this is more complicated than it appears today. And that's why I'm saying there should be 90 days. And if Ms. Mello, your system does not appear to be leaking anymore, then I would suggest that you have your contractor come back out and certify that system.
And what, get a certification from him that they did pump it out?
Correct. So he certified on the 8th that the system is free of defects.
Yes.
I
don't know why he would say it was free of defects, because I am aware that inside the
clearly a
system is
defect.
broken down. My problem is getting a new septic system, but I did do what I was told immediately.
And that's why I'm giving you additional grace, Ms. Mello, because you went out and the next day had work done on it. Here's what's unclear to me. The systems, if they're not pumped out regularly, will back up, will have problems. Your system clearly had that problem. At some point,
In the past,
you've
yes.
indicated that there was sewage on the ground. Department of Health indicates there's sewage on the ground. The system is old. It probably is failing. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that, as
I'm
you've
sure
indicated,
underneath there, but
it's been pumped out, and maybe it is
nothing on the
functioning now.
ground.
What I'm asking you to do is contact the septic company, have them come out and recheck it, make sure that it is still functioning.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe that will give you the time. Maybe it's on its last legs. Maybe it's the tires on your tread are bald, but they're not bare metal yet. Okay, so if you can give that extra time, and maybe you'll find another septic provider that will do financing or some program in the meantime.
Yes.
But,
I keep looking.
you've testified, and there's plenty of evidence to indicate that it was non-compliance. But after you went out and took corrective action, you're telling me today that it seems to be working just fine. There's a certification from your contractor that the system seemed free of defects. All I'm asking is to go back and confirm that's the case before
Okay.
imposing $4,000 on you that you don't have.
Yes. Okay.
So this will be August 4th is when this will come back here.
Okay.
Please keep in contact with Officer Roadhorse.
No problem with that, no.
If you can't if you walk out of this room, which happens to a lot of people, and as soon as you walk through those doors and see the sun again, you forget everything I told you, go back to Officer Roadhorse, and he'll help to translate that.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.